What's good, YouTube? It's the Miami Football Fanatic here again. Happy to finally have you guys back here for another video. It's been a while since my last video, but want to get cracking back on the Dolphins content. Want to bring you guys consistent videos throughout the off season. I know that you guys crave Miami Dolphins content every day, like I do. So want to bring you the all the news and all the analysis that I can to get you guys informed on what the team's doing heading into the 2019 season. So today, I just want to give a complete rundown of the Dolphins roster from quarterback all the way through to punter. Just going to be giving my opinion on how I think the players are going to fit with the team moving forward, and with the team going in a completely different direction moving forward, a much needed direction with Mike Tannenbaum and Gase being fired and Chris Greer being promoted to GM, and most likely Brian Flores being brought in as head coach. We're definitely going to be rebuilding the next 2-3 years, so a lot of these guys that I'm going to be going through are going to be gone this coming season. So yeah, just going to give my analysis on the guys and how I think they stand with the team. So starting at cornerback, Ryan Tannehill, he's definitely going to be gone. Whether that's cutting him, trading him, those are probably our only two options right there. Ryan Tannehill needs to go. The guy clearly is not the answer. Just does not have all the intangibles you want from a quarterback. Mentally and physically, the guy has just been completely inconsistent the last 6 years, and I just cannot wait to ship him out and bring in a much more talented quarterback that can really lift the defense. Lift the offense, lift the play of the guys around him, which is something that Ryan Tannehill has not done once in his career. Not once have I seen him lift the play of a receiver. He's just dead weight at this point, and we really need to get rid of him. And I really think that he should be a post June 1st cut, because as we'll be saving 18 mil on the cap, and Tannehill just needs to go. Even if it's for like a 5th or 6th round pick, hopefully a 5th round pick, maybe a 3rd or a 4th. I don't know what the landscape is out there for Tannehill on the trade market, but he needs to go. He is not a franchise quarterback. He is never going to get us to where we need to go as a team, as a perennial contender every year. David Fales and Brock Osweiler definitely not going to be back. Failed proteges of Adam Gase. They are definitely not going to be back. They are both subpar talents. I mean, David Fales has shown flashes, especially in 2017 against the Bills, but he won't be back, as well as Brock Osweiler. I really can, man, he pisses me off as a quarterback even more than Tannehill. The guy, I mean, he's a 6'8" quarterback with an absolutely subpar arm. He's got no arm strength, makes just stupid decision after the other. Tipped balls at the line of scrimmage, just interceptions. The guy just has me at a loss for words, and I really just could not believe that he stayed on the roster as long as he did. But all three of those quarterbacks are going to be gone. Luke Falk, who we got off waivers, spent most of the time on the practice squad. I think he got put on IR, but I really think that Luke Falk has got some promise. He's a guy that can develop for the next few years, but I really like what I see from him. He hasn't got the arm strength, but he's an incredible cerebral quarterback. A guy who's got great accuracy, great timing, and just the smarts to play the quarterback position in the league. So Luke Falk, I definitely think he's going to be back in camp, and hopefully can stick around the next couple years to develop under the next head coach. Okay, so on to running back. The only two guys that I could see us keeping are Kenyon Drake and Kalen Ballage. Frank Gore definitely should not be coming back. I mean, he'll be 36 years old by the time we sign him. Even though Frank Gore was our leading rusher and was an efficient runner during the season, he really should not be brought back. He did run for 722 yards on 4.6 yards a carry, 0 touchdowns. So right there, shows that he really wasn't that effective. It didn't get us any points, but he did help us to win some games. But Drake and Ballage should have been leading the way, and it just really shows how incompetent Gase and the guys behind the offense were. They just could not see that we had a truly dynamic duo in Drake and Ballage, and I hope that changes moving forward. But we honestly could have had even a three-headed monster with Gore, Drake, and Ballage. The carries could have been shared around with Drake leading the way. We could have had a great dynamic offense because, I mean, Gase just would not commit to the run. He was just set on throwing the ball, 40 plus times a game, and Tannehill just getting his ass beat and just not realizing that Tannehill was not the guy who could carry the offense with the passing game, and just completely ignoring the running game at times, with Drake carrying the ball 5 times a game. It was just incredibly stupid and was just mind-boggling, and I'm sure many Dolphins fans felt the same. And I really hope that those guys just absolutely kill it this season. Another guy who I want to bring back is Brandon Bolden. He's great on special teams, but he also was looking great on offense. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, 91 yards on only 8 carries, 11.3 yards a carry. Brandon Bolden, he looked just awesome when he was carrying the ball for us. He looked explosive. He knew what he was doing. He knew how to read his blocks. He just looked like a great veteran running back who still got plenty of juice left at 28 years old. And, being connected to Brian Flores from their days in New England, I really think he'll be back, as I'm sure Flores will love to have his specialties with special teams and his expertise with special teams and in the run game. Okay, so on to wide receiver. Starting with Devontae Parker, we really need to cut him. There's no way we're bringing him back for 9.3 mil. The guy has just been incredibly inconsistent. I mean, I've got a video about him. It was my last video, which was a while ago, but just explaining just how disappointing Devontae Parker has been, how we missed the chance to trade him during the season or after his 3rd season. But he's been a disappointment in every way, and there's no way we're bringing him back for 9.3 mil. Even if we wanted to bring him back for a cheaper deal, I want him gone. The guy is just completely unprofessional on and off the field, and definitely should not be back with the Dolphins. Jakeem Grant, he'll be back with the team, of course, for his 4th year. I really loved how he improved with his kick and punt returns. He was just awesome. I think he averaged 29 yards per kick return and punt return. He was somewhere between 16 to 18 yards, which is great. So, and he also showed great strides as a receiver. He was just awesome and explosive. Absolutely loved what I saw from Jakeem Grant. Danny Amendola, I'm not sure what the team wants to do with him, if they want to leave him around for his veteran leadership or what. But he's going to be making $6 million next season, so hopefully they're going to ask him to take a pay cut. But if he doesn't want to stick around, if he wants to go back to the Patriots or cling on with another contender, I'm not really worried about what the team's going to do with him. But he really wasn't great all season. Wasn't very explosive. Didn't really like what I saw from him. Kenny Stills definitely is going to be back with the team. The guy has been just incredibly solid the last 3 years, but he did have a bit of a subpar year, but that was just due to our absolutely tumultuous quarterback situation, same as 2017. Kenny Stills at times, was catching passes from Brock Osweiler, for God's sake. So what could you expect from the guy? He had a couple of great games, but even Kenny Stills got frustrated during the season. He's been a great company guy, a great team guy the last 3 years, but even he was getting frustrated. Quoted saying that he couldn't throw the ball to himself, so obviously was taking a shot at the quarterback play and why he wasn't getting as much targets and receptions as he should have. Because the guy, he's just an all-round receiver. He runs awesome routes. He's got tremendous hands, great speed, great knowledge of the offense. But Kenny Stills is definitely going to be back. Albert Wilson, another guy, is going to be back with us signing him last year. It was really unfortunate with him going down with that hip injury. He pretty much won that Bears game for us. with those 2 touchdown runs. But Albert Wilson, he's an awesome weapon on offense. A guy that can just do it all. He can come out of the backfield. He can play the slot, play outside. Can't wait to see what he's going to bring to the team in his second year with the Dolphins. The next receiver on the depth chart is Bryce Butler, who we signed during the season to a 2-year deal. I really loved what I saw from him. He's a great, solid veteran receiver. He's got great speed, great height at 6'3". I love the way he runs his routes. He's tough catching balls in traffic. He really plays the game with great urgency and plays the game as a true 6'3" receiver should, as we have not seen from Devontae Parker the last 4 years. But Bryce Butler would definitely be back with the team. Leonte Carew, I mean, he's just been incredibly disappointing as a 3rd round pick from Rutgers 3 years ago. Leonte Carew, he probably will not be back with the Dolphins' new regime. But Leonte Carew, what a waste of a 3rd round pick. And we also, traded up to take him. I think we ended up trading like 4 picks to move up in the 3rd round to pick up Carew, which just showed incredibly stupid decision making by the personnel, decision makers in Tannenbaum and Gase. I'm sure that was their decision to do that. But Leonte Carew probably will not be back. Isaiah Ford is a guy who I definitely think the Dolphins should be bringing back. The guy is just he's a talented receiver. He might not have the speed, but he is great at catching the ball over the top. He's got tremendous hands. He's just a talented receiver that most of the time wins his one-on-ones and gets the job done. He's 6'2", so he's got pretty solid height. He's a bit slender. I think he's under 200 pounds, but Isaiah Ford, I hope that this new coaching staff, which will be led by Brian Flores, likes Isaiah Ford, and they give him a chance to make the team. I really enjoy him as a receiver. Okay, so on to tight end. We got AJ Derby, Mike Gesicki, Durham Smythe, and Nick O'Leary. AJ Derby was in and out of the lineup with injuries. The previous regime really liked him, really enjoyed his talents. But I'm pretty sure the new regime will show him the door. Mike Gesicki, a 2nd round pick from last year, the supreme athlete, the absolute combine dynamo, the guy who ran a 4.5, jumped 40 inches in the vertical jump. The guy was a bit of a disappointment. He didn't catch any touchdowns this season, but he was pretty standard for a rookie tight end. I mean, there hasn't been many great rookie tight ends that come in and dominate from the get-go. Jimmy Graham, you can just go down the list. I've come to a blank on great tight ends throughout the years who haven't had great rookie seasons. But Mike Gesicki, I really think he'll improve. He's got to hit the weight room. He's got to hit the squats and get stronger in his lower body. The guy really does look like a basketball player out there. He looks pretty imbalanced. Like his legs look incredibly skinny. Look like they could snap at any point. And his upper body is pretty well developed. I mean, I'm no, physiological expert, but the guy needs to transform into a true football player and be the dynamic pass catching tight end that we all know he can be. Durham Smythe didn't really play much, but he did his job when he was out there. He was great as a blocking tight end. Did his job, pass blocking, run blocking. Had a couple nice catches here and there. But Durham Smythe's definitely going to be back with him being on his rookie contract. So Nick O'Leary was another guy we picked up during the season. We also signed him to an extension during the season, which I don't know why we did that, but obviously the incompetent brass thought he was too good to let go. But Nick O'Leary did have a good couple games to start his career with us. He's a good blocker, a solid veteran who might stick with the team moving forward. Okay, so onto the offensive line. Let's start with left tackle Larry Tunsil. He finally came into his own in his 3rd season. he was just incredibly dominant this season. I think he might have given up 1 sack or maybe even no sacks at all, but he was just what we wanted him to be in his second season. He was just dominant, shutting down guys like Khalil Mack and Jadeveon Clowney and JJ Watt at times when he was playing edge rusher. But Tunsil really did develop into a top tier left tackle in his third season, and I can't wait to see what he can bring to the team moving forward. Hopefully he can have a Tyron Smith kind of career moving forward. Our other backup, Zach Stirrup, definitely won't be back with the team. He was just awful when he came in. Left guard Ted Larson had his moments, especially with the Miami Miracle and the team chanting Ted in the locker room when he supposedly had a great lead block on for Kenyon Drake on that last run in for the touchdown, the Miami Miracle. But Ted Larson, I mean, he's not an overly dynamic guard. We could bring him back for veteran depth, but I really think he should be gone. Travis Swanson and Wesley Johnson, two guys that, I mean, Travis Swanson, he was a solid center, but I really want to see us draft a top flight center or sign a much more solid center in free agency. We got to move on from Travis Swanson. And Wesley Johnson didn't really play much. I don't think he's anything special. Right guard Jesse Davis kind of didn't have a good a season as he had during 2017. In 2017, he played right guard and right tackle. He was incredibly solid, but at times in 2018, he did struggle at right guard. But I really do think we should bring him back on a two-year contract for around 2 to 3 mil. I really think he's got great promise and is a guy that I think works well with Juwan James. So onto Juwan James at right tackle. Juwan James really was an above average tackle, a right tackle this season. Great tandem with Tunsil. He was solid all season. Was much more durable this season. Didn't have as many injuries. I think he just had like a nagging knee injury like Tunsil had all season. But Juwan James was incredibly solid, and it's hard to find young, athletic, tough tackles like Juwan James. So I really do think we should be bringing him back on a new contract and giving him a solid contract that will leave him with the team for 4 to 5 years. Sam Young, another veteran who's been sticking around for a couple of years. Really think he should be moving on to a new team, maybe even retiring. So that's the offensive line there, and the offense as a whole. A lot of guys are going to be with new teams next season, or who knows, maybe out on the street. But a lot of these guys definitely shouldn't be back with the Dolphins, and I'm sure that Brian Flores and his staff will be purging most of this roster with us moving forward with a new philosophy. Oh, and just remembered, Josh Sitton will be back next season, left guard who we signed. Really, at this point, I really think we should be moving on from him. He'll be making $7 million next season. He'll be a 32-year-old guard who had a pretty shitty injury last season, so I really think we should be cutting him and moving on from Josh Sitton. One of Gase's probable personnel decisions that he made, but I really do think that the new regime should be cutting Josh Sitton. So that's it for the offense as a whole. A lot of positions going to be completely different for us next season. The quarterback room is going to be completely new, fresh stock of quarterbacks. Running backs, receivers, and tight ends are going to be fairly the same. We're probably going to add some guys in free agency in the draft, but I expect our interior O-line to be completely fresh next season with Jesse Davis maybe coming back. But with Tunsil and James, that is a great start for us on the O-line. At least we're not starting from scratch with the O-line. So we got two talented tackles right there that can help us to fill in the O-line much more quickly for our future franchise quarterback, whether that's Kyler Murray or Dwayne Haskins or Tua, Jake Fromm, Herbert from Oregon, whoever it is, will have a solid offensive line when those guys come in. So don't step into a chaotic situation when they take the reins under center. We'll have a solid offensive line to help them develop as quickly as possible as QBs. So I was going to do the defense as well in this video, but we're pretty much at 20 minutes now, so didn't want to make this a super long video. I'm going to chop up the offense and defense into 2 separate videos, probably 20 minutes apiece. But make sure to let me know what you think of my analysis of the team. Let me know if you disagree or agree. Love the feedback from you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you love the content. And as always, fins up, baby. I'll see you guys in the next video. We'll be going over the defense. Cheers, guys.